This summer, this past semester, I have been spending a lot of my thinking time and my sensing time really looking at discipline. And I'm coming at this term not only as a teacher, but also as a mom. One of the things that I continually ask myself is not only what is healthy discipline or what is conscious discipline, but how have we become so regimented and stuck in ways of looking at discipline that are punitive. And last week, when I was presenting with the school district, I shared with them, and again, I'm generalizing, but I think many of us associate a painful consequence with a sustainable behavioral change. And what we now understand is that adversities, trauma, changes the way the brain develops. It changes our stress response systems. And many of our children and adolescents are walking in a fight, flight, collapse, dissociated response. And when we use traditional discipline, when we are dysregulated, when we are nagging, when we are yelling, when we are really feeling rough ourselves, we unintentionally jump into a power struggle and a conflict cycle with our students. And when we think about what is happening and what has happened with different protocols that we've used with discipline throughout this period of time, we've gone from zero tolerance, where any infraction had a severe consequence. We are looking at programs like conscious discipline, but the problem is that most of the discipline protocols are about fixing a kid, or the emphasis is on the student. And I want just to be able to share that for us to make this perspective shift, when we are truly disciplining from a conscious place, it is about my brain and my body. It is about how I'm feeling, how I'm sensing, how I'm thinking about this interfacing with this child in the moment. And education is a living system. It's organic. Our children come to us with absolutely just carrying in so many various different experiences. And when we have 30 other students to attend to in our classroom, it just feels overwhelming. I'm going to be working a lot with discipline this next year. In fact, Michael McKnight and I will be writing a book solely on relational brain-aligned discipline. But I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and just read from an article also that I absolutely am so grateful to have in my hands. This was written by Dr. Larry Brintrow and Dr. Nick Long, and they were so far ahead of their time when they looked at the heritage of punitive practices coming from Europe into the United States, and how each of us have held on to those today. I want to read a couple of passages to you. The first one is looking at what sustains the antiquated practice of punishment in the face of all scientific evidence to the contrary. What societal values and personal theories anchor our culture below the waterline of reason in this realm of human experience? What thinking errors are used to uphold the belief that harsh punishment is effective in fighting defiance and delinquency in our own children and adolescents? We are recycling the same students in our offices for expulsions, for suspensions, for Friday school, for referrals of all types. These students are not new students who come in each week. And when we look at patterns, and when we look at how this discipline works, we understand that many of our children are walking in without experiences for kindness, without experiences for sharing, without experiences for empathy. And that looks selfish, and it looks disrespectful, and it looks oppositional and defiant. But as we move through this next academic year, and as Michael and I begin to delve into this book, I want to be very clear that conscious discipline happens, relational discipline happens, brain-aligned discipline happens when I'm regulated. And I don't just settle for compliance or obedience. I am sitting beside a child or an adolescent who's creating and strengthening neural circuits for emotional, social, and physiological well-being.